It's Saturday morning, mid-April, a bit chilly, but the sun is out. That strange time in Switzerland when winter hasn't fully left and spring is just starting to show. Hiking backpacks on, sleep still in our eyes, but excitement on our faces. At Lausanne Gare, we were off to Rochers de Naye, a mountain peak in the canton de Vaud region. It's five of us, all Indians living in Switzerland, and you know how it is. Half the fun is the company and the journey itself. As soon as we got onto the train towards Montreux, the vibe was already set. The windows gave us these insane views. Lake Léman on one side, surrounded by vineyards and little Swiss chalet, and in the background, those mighty Alps. We were leaning over the windows to get better views. Camera clicks and that desi mix of Hindi, Marathi, and English conversations filled that compartment. But at the same point, we just fell silent. It was too beautiful to ignore. From Montreux, we hopped onto the Swiss famous cogwheel train. Now that's a ride. It's something else. Slowly climbing up, you can literally see the lake getting smaller and smaller behind you. The slopes were full of green pine trees, and some patches still had leftover snow. At Haut-de-Caux station, we got off, tightened our laces, checked our bottles, and finally hit the trail 10.3 kilometers ahead. At first, it felt easy dirt paths, scattered wildflowers, bird chirping. The air was crisp, carrying the smell of pine, and every breath felt cleaner than the last. Here is very beautiful alpine trail crossing, mostly a forest with a fantastic view of Lake Léman, Lake Geneva. The route leads to the top of Rochers de Naye, 2040 meter via Lac Creux à la Siège, 1456 meter. This is a hike on a magnificent mountain in Vaud Alps located in Montreux region. On the trail, midway, as we were making our way up, suddenly the sky caught our attention. Bright, colorful parachutes were floating above the valley. Paragliders, dozens of them. For a moment, we just stopped walking, backpacks still on, and stared like kids. Against the backdrop of the Alps. Those tiny specks moving so gracefully looked unreal. The whole valley was alive. Below us, the deep blue of Lake Léman shimmering in the sunlight, and the above, these paragliders dancing in the sky. Imagine doing that, flying over this view. It was one of those paws, and we were just standing there watching those paragliders. Felt like watching freedom itself, floating between snowy peaks and the shiny lake. We were walking in a line, chatting about jobs, about how different life feels here, missing India and its roadside chai street food. As we climbed higher, the trail tested us. Slushy patches of leftover snow made it tricky. Sometimes we were out of breath, heads down, but just focusing on next step. The weather kept shifting, sometimes sunny, sometimes a bit foggy, but always fresh and crisp. Honestly, the mountain air just makes you feel alive. The last part was slower, bit steeper. The wind picked up, carrying a chill, and we were hiking on the snow, with the snow covered peaks calling us even closer. Every now and then we would stop, half to rest, half to just stand in awe. It was so beautiful. It's funny how mountains can make you quiet. You start thinking about life, about where you are, and somehow all the stress feels tiny compared to the valleys stretching below you.
Come on, give me a cheer.
And finally, the summit, Rochers de Naye, 2042 meters above sea level. The view just hit us. Endless snow capped mountains, deep valleys, and far below, Lake Léman, crystal clear, looking like a piece of glass. It felt surreal. Then came the real highlight. Out came the flask of masala chai, still steaming, alongside pakodas and coriander chutney. Imagine sitting on a snowy peak in Switzerland, biting into a crispy pakodas. That taste, it was pure comfort, pure desi warmth in the middle of the Swiss wilderness. Sitting at the summit with that spread, I don't think any fancy restaurant in Switzerland could beat that. We had an amazing time, just sat over there while enjoying the beauty of Rochers de Naye mountain peak. It's time to head back. The Swiss cogwheel train from Haut-de-Caux station to Montreux to back to Lausanne. If you have never sat in one, I definitely recommend it. It feels like you are on a slow roller coaster. It chugs upward and downwards, creaking gently, while outside the scenery changes with every turn. The beautiful mountains, shining Lake Léman starting getting wider. We were getting closer to the city, and still patches of white snow reminded us winter was still hanging around. We weren't tired, and it didn't feel like we went on a hike of 10.3 kilometers. This hike wasn't just about reaching Rochers de Naye mountain peak, it was about everything in between: the train rides, the slips on snow, the silly conversations, and the chai on the top. It reminded us that adventures aren't always about big achievements. Sometimes you're hiking alone, and sometimes with friends. A mountain trail, that feeling of doing something adventurous together, and the simple joy of sharing food with a view. Rochers de Naye gave us a lot, including nature's magic and memories for life. If you are in Switzerland, this hike is 100% worth it. Thank you for watching. If you love exploring uncharted mountain peaks, make sure to give this video a like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more adventures ahead. See you soon on the next hike. Until then, stay adventurous and keep exploring. Ciao, ciao.